Okay, guys. Welcome back to another video, another episode of our podcast. Yeah, it's been quite a while. It's been apparently when I'm making this video, recording this video. It's been 101 days and 8 hours. So that's pretty far, you can say. So I'm trying to make a new approach because I don't think I don't think writing podcast scripts is I don't know, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, true. Usually in the last couple of videos, it's been like me reading like a podcast from my tablet, and then it feels weird. I don't know. It feels like I'm lecturing, not like I'm actually saying something, right? So I don't really have any idea on what I'm doing today. So I've been wanting to do this for a while, but apparently I'm stuck in my procrastination as usual and thinking about and doing some stuff, fun stuff, and kind of distracted. And what I've been dealing with some work, not actually work, man. Yeah, that's I don't know. A a J word is a very insulting. Okay, I'm just kidding. So yeah, it's been that, and let's say there's like one topic that I wanted to touch on, but I don't know if I'm qualified enough. I'm just like saying a bunch of stuff and make it an episode. That's basically it. So I have this one particular particular topic. And yes. Okay, let's. Should I like read? Should I read the top? I mean, like, not topic. I don't know if this video gonna be like one topic. I don't think so because yes, we're gonna touch on some stuff that's been nice, I guess. Okay, it's about forgetting or left behind our inner self, inner child. That's a really nice topic, in my opinion. I've been really wanted to touch up on that for a while. So I've had a few friends, right? And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really a listener type person. I've met a couple of people. I met like I've met a lot of people, and usually it's cool. Okay. Sometimes me and my friends, we talk about a couple of stuff that's like a little bit philosophical, perhaps, but it's not really philosophical if you think about it. I mean, take it as you may. It's not really philosophical, but it's not really like something weird. Oh, no wonder. I think I put it on the wrong way. Or is it the right way? Oh, it's here. I think so. Okay. Okay, back to the. Yeah, I usually do it like this. Okay. So, yeah. For some people, such as myself, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you could think it that way. There's a lot of people out there that have like different mindsets, right? Mindsets and mental and how we actually think and so on so on. It's basically like based on what happened, there's a lot of stuff, right? There's a lot of stuff happens in our life that makes us a bit more like adjust, adapt over the years. And there's a particular person, I'm gonna say, that is have like this different type of like way of thinking. Like, for example, I don't know if I don't know why I say example, because I have no way. I didn't think about any example right now. But yeah, imagine you are like tied on a pirate ship. Okay, you have been captured by a, I don't know, what's a I don't know. I'm thinking about like Jack Sparrow, but it's not real. Blackbeard is real. Blackbeard is a real person. Imagine you were captured, okay, by a pirate. Okay, you are tied behind your back. Okay, and then they are forcing you to the plank. If you have like, if you don't know like any sort of like pirate stuff, you obviously know what a plank is. So oh man, I think normal people know what a plank is, but I mean like the act of like walking on a plank. Okay, the act itself, the act of like forcing to walk towards a plank. Okay, and I'll take it like so the plank, right? Usually when pirate do that, there will be like sharks and all blah 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 blah, or they just want to like throw you someone, to the water and left them behind. Think about it that way, right? We as a child, we were made like born to this world, not really understand much. Okay, but the the plank itself, right? For some people, let's just say like the plank is like a childhood. Okay, someone forced them to jump to adult, to being like adult. Okay, there's a lot of particular like person that kind of like forced into the water, you know, like forced to like mature, and someone who actually like just want to be mature by itself, by himself, by herself, by themselves. And there's a couple of ways that makes them do it, right? But in the end, sometimes we forget a lot of stuff, and that a lot of stuff means like we forgetting what we are when we're kids, right? And no, I think I should have put a timer. 1 second, guys, because that camera is far and I don't know. Okay, okay. So they are forced to jump towards adult, being like a mature version of themselves, and some people, when they actually like realize a lot of like pressure, a lot of like this act of maturity, they sometimes forget about what, about like this childhood memory, childhood like wishes, all that stuff, dreams and stuff, goals. And it like kind of like change the way they think. There's some cases, no, I'm not gonna say cases, there's some like, but there's some Oh my god, I'm so stuck. Yo, I've been speaking English for my whole life and I don't know. Every time I set up the camera, man. Okay, there's some ways that there's some cases that people they kind of like change their own personality because they are forced to change. Okay, and I mean it's all the act of changing it, I guess, but I don't. And sometimes they make this like personality that doesn't really align with what they actually are. And I think it's not good for you. No, I mean like it's good for you, you have this like personas that can like head on towards the storm or head first towards the fucking sea. But I don't think it's always good. Being mature is something weird, not weird, is something unique. Okay, there are times where you met people. Okay, there are times where you met people and you can actually learn from them. Every time you met someone, you can learn a lot from them. For example, there are things you can learn. In my opinion, there's like three. Okay, based on experience, you can learn something based on experience with them, or you can learn from seeing how they act, and you can learn by listening to what they say. Sometimes you met some people, right? They like talk, talk how their life went, and then you should do that, blah blah blah, all that TED talk. Yeah, something like that, right? Obviously you've met a lot, you've met like some grandpa and it's like back in my day I used to blah 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 blah, so therefore you gotta blah 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 blah, all that stuff. There are three things that I categorize in my head every time I met someone. There's three that always like kept in mind. The first one usually like the one that like experience with them. You mean like when you're like met someone, a friendship, a relationship, and then suddenly they change, and then you actually like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. It's kind of like experience, right? And the way they act, like when you actually see them, you see them that they're acting bad or they're acting like kind or shared, blah blah blah, blah, this act, and then like yeah, that one is like don't listening to what they say. So back to the topic. Oh my god, I forgot. So based on the personalities, right? They kind of forget how their childhood, mm, their their mind, their childhood mind is like forgetting. Like in I've known some people like that, and to be honest, I think it's called what, emotional amnesia, something like that, where you actually like erase some emotions. I mean, think about it that way, I guess. But like I said, it's not always good, and it's not bad either. Where you are actually mentally, emotionally prepared to grow up. But being a child is fun. I can play. Blah, 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 but when you're now actually matured, you're gonna be like crushed in the real world. You're right. So, for example, being an school, right? If you're not mentally prepared toward middle school, you'll be crushed. Okay, but when you mature too early, you will get hard. I mean, like you'll be hard in the elementary like stage by itself. Think about it that way, right? So when you actually like grew up too early, it will it will be like these stages of your life that when you actually like have the freedom to act, you'll be like confused because it feels like no, I'm gonna say something but it sound like weird, so it'll be like some sort of like old souls, those old souls, I think I count myself as an old soul. I like old stuff, and yeah, some people call me I'm an old soul. Yeah, and they're like way older than me, you know but yes, again, it's always about like that. There is some stuff that I know you'll get like prepared to be older, but as you grow older, you'll feel stuck because you're not the same as everyone. Do you understand me? Like there are like stages where you need to start mature. If you're going too early, it will be confused. Okay, it will be confusing. You'll get stuck. But when you actually like get like too early and then too late, right? When you like grow up too late, it will be hard because you're not mature enough to deal with the real world, and it will feel like crushing your soul. People are yeah. Some people are pretty. You need to be mature to talk to them. Okay, so they're that, and to me, right? Some of my friends, they have this like way of dealing with that by doing some stuff because like being that stages of like maturity, for you forget a lot of like how the child version of you sees the world. The like myself, for example, I want to be kind. I want to like listen, you know and I'm pretty happy with where I'm at because I'm doing the stuff that my child version want, and to be honest, it's cool. Okay, but like there's some people that forgets them because when in the stages or like they when the stage of like they're actually maturing, right, they kind of like obtain new personalities, their new personas that they made, okay, and shaped by people, by himself, by the person itself, and the people like surrounding them. It's sharpened and like it's basically like a pencil and like a sharpener, right? When you want to like sharpen the pencil, right, you can pick like if you want them to like be sharp and long or sharp and short and blah 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 blah. Some in like because of them gaining a new personality on all that stuff, they forgets a couple of how they want to be when they grow up. Okay, for example, like the pencil stuff, right? When you want a pencil and you sharpen the pencil itself, you will obviously lose some pieces of the pencil in order to make it like as you desire, right? You want it to be sharp, so you're gonna like sharpen the dullness. Obviously there's gonna be like some excess of it, right? The one you actually cut. Okay, basically that pencil will now have like this. I don't have a pencil with me. Okay, I have a pencil, but it's not a real pencil. Okay, think about like this. You can see, right? Okay, think about like this, right? This is okay. The new pencil will be like this, right? See, and then as you grow older, It'll be like this. But the act of mature itself, or or you actually wanting to be mature or being forced to mature slowly, obviously, maturity itself is like sharpening the pencil itself. Okay, and when you actually like do think about it, every time you gain something new, you kind of like sharpen the pencil. When something happen, you sharpen the pencil. You grow older every day and you learn stuff every day. So every time you sharpen, you're always gonna lose some part of the pencil that you don't want. Okay, that's basically like how life works. And being a child and growing into like a teenager, an adult, you're obviously gonna lose some part of your life that you don't even know you lost. I mean, there's some people that I know, more than one. Okay, they lose a part of themselves where as a child. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? A part of us as a child, we see this world as something that different. Okay, the child innocent eyes, okay, windows and stuff. We even when we go outside and we see a tree, it feels beautiful. Okay, but now it feels like, oh, that tree is boring, blah 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 blah. Okay, and their way of thinking, what they kind of like forget how to understand their old personality. Like when you're actually like sensitive, and then the new personality itself is like very matured. Okay, you end up not being sensitive. Okay, but not being sensitive, okay, not having empath and so on, will actually ruin you. Why? There's some cases where you sort of have like this like heart so fucking ice, and that's not good. Okay, why I keep saying okay? Okay, and it makes our sense of humanity gonna get low over time, because that heart, every day you choose to be this person, right, it will ruin not ruin, it will obviously change that childlike empath into some sort of like, I don't want to say it, but you find it be a monster if you don't actually know how to like touch up your own ways. For example, like, you're a big guy, okay, big guy, big guy, and there's like moments, if you don't actually like think about it, right, there's some moments where in your day that feels like, do I feel heartless, why did she cry, did I do something wrong, but being this new person, you don't care about it, you just care about yourself, right, and it's not good, but it's good in some ways, because you're dealing with like the outside that some people might grow like hurt from. You're actually like capable of like like doing it, of going through life without actually needing something from the outside, hearing someone that can hurt you, that can hurt your feelings, blah 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 blah, because your feelings are matured. I don't care, you know but at the same time, if you don't actually like touch that child like innocent, like infant, blah blah blah, like, it's not good for you. And I don't know, it feels like more like this new personas of being mature. Okay, like some people like views maturity in like some different ways. Some people, when they grow soft, they think it's like maturity. When they grow hard, it, they think it's like a maturity. But people change, like every people change, okay? And it's not always being hard bad, being soft bad. And it's not always good also, you know? If you're actually a big softy, you're like a sensitive and blah blah blah, but some people might think you're bad, you know? It's bad being an empath or sensitive. You need to grow up, blah 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 blah, but you need to man up. But you know, when you actually think about it, just think about being sensitive, right? And then changing to like being hard, like this like crazy guy with no heart, you know. And when you have no empath, it will ruin like this um state of mental you have, because you might see someone from like the homeless or anything, and you feel like you don't really have like some sort of like humanity pity or something, you know. And at the same time of being sensitive, you'll grow like this. you get you get offended by a couple of things people do, okay? And it's not good, but it's not bad, because if you flip it again and then you see the bright side, being sensitive is like you care about people, you care about life, you care about people, things that surrounding you. And they're good, they're bad. There's always good and bad in every situation in your life. You just need to like understand which one is like you picking. And yeah, it's all about that. And okay, let me just put this pencil away because I don't think I need it anymore. No. Okay. Okay, we have another like this that I list. Okay, for example, something about this, us being an adult, being matured, we always have these like choices in life, right? Where there will be like people surrounding us that makes us more heavy on something other than our choices. Okay, let's say we have like two different things that we want. Okay, let's just say like this: we have dino nuggets, or what's like a cool stuff now. Oh my god, I'm such an unk. I don't know what's a cool stuff. We have dino nuggets. You know what? I don't know, man. Holy damn. Okay. What is healthy and good for you? A salad. Huh. You know what? Okay. No, salad is like okay, fine. Okay, this is like a rough example. Okay, don't do anything with this, because I don't want to just like what's like healthy, good for you, but it's also like yeah, a salad. Okay, we have dino nuggies, and a salad. Okay, which are the choice that actually think more mature? Obviously, the dino nuggets, right? No, yuck. No, the more adult choice is a salad, and the more weird, the more like childish is the dino nuggies. For example, you have these two in front of you, right? Everyone is making you choose salad because it's good for you, it's healthy. Just put some protein and you're good. Where dino nuggies, it tastes good, but it's obviously it's not really healthy for you. So there are two different like choice that you need to make. These are like an example of hold on, we taking choices to please others as in more correct in adult views, because like often we get pressured, okay, when we actually like think about something, when we actually want to choose something, because we've matured, right? There obviously like something like say in our mind that between dino nuggies and a salad, one, I'm an adult. I People laugh at me when they look at me and I buy dino nuggies and eat dino nuggies. But when I buy salad, they will think I'm adult. You know, that's normal. You know, cause I'm an adult. They expect me to choose salad. Therefore, I choose salad. Okay, okay. He choose salad. That is an example of taking choice to please others because it feels like correct in adult. Being adult have these like ways, and if you think about it, obviously you've been like in sort of those some sort of cases where you need to take a choice. You need to pick a choice. Ugh. Oh my god. You need to choose between choices that it feels better. It feels like an adult. Okay, in adult. Adult. Cool. Because, but even as you think about it, it's not really good. Okay. Dino nuggies are cool. Very. I like dino nuggies. And salad is cool. You know, it's okay. It's where. I mean, if you have like a good sauce and some protein, it'll be cool. But yeah, there's like those some sort of like things that you sacrifice to choose something that it feels not it's not you. Okay, obviously, if you want more of Daniel Nagis and you are forced, not literally forced, but if it's like you're forced to pick salad because I mean, if you think about it, if you see an adult eating Daniel Nagis, you're like, yo, why is that guy eating Daniel Nagis? But yeah, but eating that salad itself, you doesn't feel like any like content. You don't feel like relief or you don't feel like anything you maybe feel when you eat dado nuggies. Okay, it's like between two choices that ends like you made those two choices, for example, and you want dino nuggies. You wanted dino nuggies. You came there to buy dino nuggies. Okay, but you are forced to somehow choose something more adult in another adult's eyes. So that it's kind of like sacrifice for your own sake of happiness of fulfillment just to appeal like just to appear that's right in adults ways. Okay, and it kind of like make us like forget about us being adult and us being a child because as a child, you would enjoy that dino nuggets and eat it every day, I guess. But now, if you eat it every day, if people know you eating dino nuggets every day, as being like I don't know a 30-year-old man, obviously people are like, yo, why are you eating dino nuggets? Oh, you know. But if you feel happy about it, do it. You know, life is all about us being happy. Okay, there are times where it's bad. You know, there are times where it's good, and there are times when it's down. But that's life. And what God want us to do is like enjoy every moment of life. It's not always good. It's not always bad. So enjoy being bad, for example, just being like down, enjoy being up, and you feel good. Hey, dino nuggies are cheap too, man, and it's cool. I would like to eat. You know, maybe tomorrow I'll buy dino nuggies. Yeah. The no this topic about food. Don't sorry, I'm hungry, kinda, and it's like 12 p.m. currently, and I'm hungry, man. Midnight, and now I'm hungry. Okay. Okay, we have another one. We have another, okay. So, us being an adult, we sacrifice our own happiness when you think about like too much of people that would judge you, okay? If my mom caught me eating dino nuggies for 5 days straight, she would always say like, "You're a grown ass man. Why are you eating dino nuggets? It's not good for you. Eat something healthy. Like eat this." And being like an adult in adults' eyes, obviously you gotta comply. And in doing that comply, okay, you obviously sacrifice your own happiness because just like maybe like fraction of it, okay, fraction of your happiness because you're eating something that you don't really know, you don't really like it, but you really hate it. But dino nuggies, you like it, you love it, you eat it, okay? Obviously it's not good for you, but obviously it's not bad for you. It's not really good for you. But it makes you happy, you know? If it's happiness, and do it, okay. There's the majority of diseases, the first like source of diseases your mind. If you're not happy, most likely you'll get sick. But if you're happy, man, the only thing is hurting is your dino nuggies and your bank account because you keep losing money on dino nuggies. And being mature, okay, I'm not really, I don't call myself as mature, obviously, but some people call me mature. So I don't know. I'm like, think about it, yeah. And doing this adult things that you are forced to do, or what people other adults expect from you, it's kind of like forget how we need to sometimes like touch up on our like inner child, okay? For example, like maybe with your hard-earned adult money, sometimes you collect some toys that you wanted to buy, or you wanted like to buy a shoes, for example, something that your inner child wants but cannot get. Now you buy it because for the sake of your inner child, and that's how to actually like be do life, okay? But if you don't, you'll forget about this inner child, and you'll sometimes like wonder, why does my life feel so weird, feel so empty? What did I miss? There's always like a gap, a hollow in your heart, and all that, okay? For example, I swear, why am I pulling up another Dino Nuggies joke? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. For example, for example, you didn't eat Dino Nuggets in a couple of times, in a couple of weeks, months, and you feel hollow. What did I do wrong? I feel like I want something. I wanted to feel the taste of that down in the Dino Nuggets. That's basically like a really like cool example of it. Like you feel like you've done everything, okay? But is it that wrong to indulge and embrace your inner child? Bars. Uh, indulge, embrace, inner child. Bro, that's bars. Oh my god. I'm putting bars at midnight. Oh my god. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically like that. So, if you think about it, right, you need, okay, I mean, if you like to comfort, like to comfort in your new personalities, then go for it. If you're happy, then do go happy, I guess. But obviously, there's like times where you buy something out of like, you know what, I wanted to buy this as a child, so it's only a couple of dollars, so I'll just gonna buy it. There are times where you actually like think or do or certain or like buy something because your inner child back then wanted that. And being an adult, okay, you could just buy it and your parents wouldn't like, you don't buy that, that's heavy, that's expensive, or you don't need that, we got that at home. When you actually buy something because you're in a you're you wanted that from like when you were like 6, okay, it feels different because wow, I finally got it. Okay, there's always like some sort of like completion and fulfillment when you actually buy it, and you're obviously gonna do that at one point. Maybe it will be grand, it will be more grand. You always wanted to buy this Mercedes car, toy car, so I'm buying the real car, all that stuff. There are ways when you actually think about it that you kind of like some sort of like indulge in that desires. Desires. So yeah, being an adult doesn't mean you need to lose a part who was like a part of yourself back then. Being an adult doesn't mean you need to lose your child. Huh? Your child. No. Being an adult doesn't mean you need to lose a part of your child self. Okay, well, I'll say it anyway. Being an adult doesn't mean that every couple of choices you make, you need to think about it as an adult. For example, you go out and then there is a you go to a supermarket, okay, and then you were like uh go to a meat section, a salad section, and a freezer section. Obviously, salad is more healthy. Steak is a protein. Okay, you gonna be healthy. It is good. A dino nuggies. Okay, obviously, there's no answer to that. Pick what feels happy. Pick something that it makes you happy rather than, oh no, I need to do this, blah 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 blah. What will my parents do, say, if they see me walking out with a dino nuggies package or blah 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 blah. But life is all about finding meaning and be grateful of living. At the same time, be happy to make life feels more easier. Does that make sense? Happy about journey. You know, indulging some dino nuggies doesn't hurt some people. It hurts some people when you don't pay for it. Okay, but you get what I mean lah. Okay, so your life doesn't have to be bland. You need to color your life sometimes, and maybe by buying dino nuggies or buying some toy car will make you feel like more like a mature version of yourself, not like the one day or you force yourself into adulthood, into being matured, holding a part of yourself, not like you actually like erase those child, you know child self, because that's life. If you keep just doing what people expect, okay, from you, is that your life or theirs? Think about it. No, please think about it. Think about it. Yeah, whoever watched this video, think about it. When you pick choices because people expect you to, like salad and dino nuggies, for example, is that your life or their life? Are you picking dino nuggies, or are you picking salad because of you or their? You know, who is eating dino nuggies or who is eating the salad? Is that you or the people actually say something about it? Do they actually eat it with you or not? Life is ours, okay? Life is yours, Pick something that you want, at least, you know. Like for example, you need to do five things, okay? People expected five of these you need to do and choose and blah blah blah. It's not always hard. It's not always hurt when you just like do one that it feels like, you know what, I want this, I'll do that, I'll eat this. Cool. For example, you do five. You do one. You say like do good, okay? So after doing that one, you'll feel like more complete because like, you know what, this is nice. This is a nice, very nice. Okay? Because again, doing something that you actually don't want is a bit weird. Okay, not weird. I understand when people actually like need to do that. And yes, there are times where you actually need, where you actually like, what the hell? There are times where obviously as an adult you gotta do it because you need to do it. You need to do it for survive, for being like for money and so on. But using a bit of a use a bit of a money to do buy, or just like lay down, no, like be relaxing once in a while, because people might say, you don't need to relax, blah 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 blah, you work hard, blah 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 blah. Obviously you're gonna burn out. Okay, if you think one a couple of hours of nap feels good, then do it. I mean, like, do it after you do the whole stuff. I mean, like, for example, like this, like, just do something. Just like if you need to do five, if the whole day, okay, you gotta make a choices, do something, do chore, blah 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 blah. For people, do one or two that makes you happy at least. I think that's pretty cool. For example, that you are forced to eat soup and then like a salad and all that blah blah blah, all that boring adult stuff, and then just indulge in those kind of like desires and eat that nuggies a couple of times. I don't know, a month or weeks. I don't know. Just basically find the happiness that you want, that you do, that you think you like when you're being as a child, because being an adult doesn't mean you need to like lose that child dreams, desires, and all that. Being mature doesn't mean you need to lose a part of yours, who you are. Wait, what? No. Losing Being mature doesn't mean you need to lose a part who you once are. Wow. Okay. I don't think I can pull like a really good one after that. So life doesn't mean, why am I repeating that? Okay. Life doesn't mean you need to lose a part who you once are. Sometimes you need to embrace and remember what you like, and that itself will make you feel some sort of fulfillment in life. You'll feel like better in life. You feel happier, and that that's like what life needs to be. Obviously, being adult is a bit boring, so it's not always harm to do something or to eat something that it feels wrong. Okay, dino nuggies. Okay, being an adult, dino nuggies, and blah blah blah. Find your happiness, and your life will be easier. And never lose that child inside you. Oh yo, does that feel weird? Nah, it feels good. Yeah. So yeah, that includes our episodes today. I think why today? This includes our episodes, and yeah, sorry for like the lack of post and stuff, because it feels like kind of like I don't know, you know. And I feel better doing this instead of like reading scripts, so I might as well gonna do this a little bit more often maybe. And yes, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. And there is episode 4. All right. Bye bye.